Guys, welcome to What's Barking Local. It's Jerry
Hey.
Miller. It's good to be with you on a Wednesday afternoon. Thank you kindly for joining us. Colleen Wise-Owen says hello. How are you, Colleen?
Hey, Colleen.
Pattie Boden, the owner of Animal Connection, on set with us. Pattie, how are you?
We're good. We're good. It's Wacky Wednesday.
Wacky Wednesday.
I mean.
We want to catch up with you with what's going on at Animal Connection. We have a lot of product right here. And I think that is certainly very fitting as the seasons turn and as allergies are upon us. Talk to us of what we have in front of us.
Hey, well, we have product because, quite frankly, the guest that I had planned for today very sadly has seasonal allergies so badly that she has lost her voice completely. So I brought other friends to participate. And we thought maybe it'd be a good time to let's talk about allergies. Let's talk about spring. Let's talk about animals in the spring, and just what's going on and things people can do.
I love it. So animals, and I know this firsthand from my wolf pack that I have at home. Animals undoubtedly get allergies. You can see it with some gook in their eyes. I'm seeing my German Shepherd, starting to sneeze a little bit. I'm seeing the eyes run a little bit from a tear standpoint. So not only is it humans, also the animals that are touched by the allergy season, Pattie Boden.
Exactly, and especially in high pollen, like today's a high pollen count, from all the rain. I mean, I'm lucky I have my voice. I don't know about you, but
It doesn't bother me.
it doesn't bother you at all?
No.
Maybe I'm not drinking enough beer.
Yeah, it does not bother me at all.
Golly, Moses, that must be the key to it. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, boy.
So what do we got here? Show us the first solution here from a product standpoint.
Okay, well, first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about allergies in general. For dogs and cats, their body's designed to be outdoor animals for sure. And what keeps them safe against these seasonal allergies are their skin. Their skin is a breathable like ours, but theirs is very different. And we find that at Animal Connection, when people come into us and say, oh my gosh, well, my dog's eating a grain-free diet, and then we find out it's really high in carbs, it's not such a great grain-free diet for them. And the skin is getting thin. And so when you get thin skin, those allergens can go right through to the body. And then you've got the red ears, the scratchy itchies, the goopy stuff in their eyes, just like you're talking about. Even in their toes. They might see red ears. They might have red all over them. They might even lose their hair. I mean, we see it all the time. We see it in the winter with fall and with the leaves. We see it sometimes in the dead of winter, too, when you think all that stuff is gone. It's not really. You turn on your heat, and now all this stuff is alive again, but especially in the spring. So we just want to talk about maybe some things that you can do, and we're not going to go through every little product we have. You can come to Animal Connection with that, but just some points.
Sure.
Like Jerry, what does your dog eat?
My dog eats pretty much everything.
Okay.
We feed him often what we're eating ourselves.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you ever think about changing the proteins with the season like you do?
We do,
You do?
because our diet and what we're eating for dinner or lunch
There you go.
changes seasonally.
All right.
So oftentimes what we're eating this summer is different from what we're eating in the winter, and we literally are feeding them what we eat for dinner or lunch.
Exactly. Well, that's a great thing for people to do is eat what's seasonal and really load your dog's diet or your cat's with meat. But let's take it a step further.
Okay.
There are cooling proteins and there are neutral proteins. So cooling proteins are things like rabbit, duck, whitefish, pork, cod. And then you have neutral proteins, which are like pork, tripe, mackerel, and sardines. All these proteins are designed to lower the heat in the body. So that if you've got heat created by allergens, you can cool it down and then stop the itching.
I love it.
Reduce the itching. Right?
Now, that's the thing that I love with your store is when folks come to Animal Connection, not only, and Carly, thank you for joining us. Daniel Kaufman from Public, thank you for joining us. Carla Harlow Hernandez from the Daily Progress, thank you for tuning in. Tim Ryan in Crozet, Chris Turner in Richmond. When you go to Animal Connection, not only are you able to purchase the all-natural stuff for your pet, but you're also able to get the knowledge of how the product you're purchasing is going to benefit your pet from a sustainability and quality of life standpoint.
Exactly. I mean, we really work hard to know those kind of things. So, like, the first thing you want to remember is high protein. You don't need all the carbs in a dog or cat's diet. You want the highest protein that you can afford, because what that will do, it will strengthen the skin and strengthen the epidural layer so that your dogs or cats can fight the allergies. It also makes the skin less dry, because when you have dry skin, they're going to scratch it, and that opens up the body to have issues as that's going on.
I love it. So show us one and give us the benefits, and let's sizzle reel this hair.
This is my favorite thing. This will cost you $1.
Okay.
This is a codfish skin. It'll cost $1. And so now you've not only increased the taurine of your food, but you have added something that's going to help your dog fight allergies. So for $1, this is way better than antibiotics or something else that you could get. This is $1, and it's all natural. We'd have that salmon skin. There's herbs you can use. This is a fun little product, and I wasn't going to be product specific, but this has a herb in it called quercetin.
Okay.
And quercetin is nature's Benadryl, is what they call it. So you can use a little supplement like this. It will soothe scratchy itchies. No problem.
Love it.
Yep. Pretty easy.
Sizzle reel that, Harris Tolber. So you're
Pretty
basically
easy.
coming up with solutions that are natural.
Exactly.
To help
dietary.
our pets,
right?
As opposed to something that is man-created pharmaceutically.
Exactly. And there are simple things you can do with the grooming. I mean, when your dogs go out, they're bringing pollen back in the house. Wash their feet. I mean, that costs you nothing. Wash their feet, or if they're a little dog, wash their undercarriage. Do this every day they come back in, especially on a high pollen day like this. Frequent baths but with a nicer shampoo. Good reason to use our self-serve dog wash, right? There you go. And so you can take the pollen off of your dog on a regular basis and feel pretty good about it.
Christopher Willison, thank you for joining us in Greene County. John Updike in Crozet, give the stream a like and share if you could. The self-serve dog wash at Animal Connection. Affordable, approachable, easy to use.
It sure is.
How is it doing? Put it in perspective, how it's going.
It's going really, really well. I mean, it's a comfortable place. Dogs that are normally afraid of a big environment are doing very, very well in it because it's quiet. It's more private. I mean, rather than 10 tubs, we only have 2 tubs, and it's there's ceiling fans going and some nice essential oils, and we have good shampoos and things, and they tend to just relax. And sometimes we just have the dogs come in and not even have a bath. Just come in and have a treat. Stand in a tub, have a treat. Maybe we put a little peanut butter or something on the side of the wall and they can lick it and go home and have a great day.
Our buddy Leslie Gourdet, Harris Tolber, is watching right now. Leslie Gourdet in Crozet, I believe you're coming on the show on Friday, Leslie. I'm excited for that. He's going to play some live music. Woo-hoo. What was the thinking behind the self-serve dog wash? Because you had to expand the square feet. You took a risk.
We sure did. Well, we had a lot of people that were contacting our full service grooming, which is very popular. We are now booked through the end of May right now.
Okay.
And they just, my dog just needs a bath. Well, we can't accommodate all that right now, but we can make it easier for people to do it themselves. So, thus the space is used. You just got to find a need and figure out how to do it.
How, put in perspective how difficult it was to come to market with it, how we've gotten the word out about the dog wash, how the marketplace has responded to it?
Well, it's been kind of neat to let people come back as we were building it and they could be a part of it. We did launch it last summer, which
so it's almost a year old.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't the smartest things for most business people to do, but because we'd never done it before. Why launch it in the thick of winter? We wanted to launch it at a time where we knew we could manage it. In the summer, people are washing their dogs outside, and it's easier to do at home. That's fine. We get that, but So,
I think launching it in the downtime was a really good idea, and we'll sizzle reel this into a self-serve dog wash, sizzle reel Harris, and I thought it was a good idea because you're doing it in a way where you can get the kinks out before you get into peak season, where if you launch during peak season, and you're not going to really be able to trial and error it. I mean, from all our clients, and we represent them, across the board, we tell them to do it in a downtime when you come to market with a new idea or a new innovation.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of businesses do that. I mean, chefs do that all the time. They have, what is it they call, soft opening. That's a big word I was looking for, soft opening. That's just a smart way to do things. I'm doing that with a POS system right now.
You're going to POS?
Oh my gosh. Can you believe 17 years?
Which one are you going? Which one are you rolling out?
Lightspeed.
Yeah?
Woo-hoo.
Why'd you pick that one?
Because it works really well with a program we're already using called Astro, where it does all our frequent buyer programs for us. And it will also integrate with a grooming software that we're going to get so we can do appointments. It just seemed to work. And I've been looking at it in that box, but we've had a couple other projects this week. We had to get out the door first, but next week I got a big technology date.
Are you going to roll out the frequent buyer rewards or perk system from a digital standpoint?
Well, we've had the frequent buyer program for a long time.
Right, but digitally.
Digitally, yes. We've been doing that for over a year.
Yeah?
The Astro program, yep. And that's such a nice program because you, as a customer, can get on the same program we do and check your frequent buyer status. And it also sends you coupons. So just about every food product we have now is on Astro Loyalty. So you can go and you give the customer free coupons every month. So you can bring them into us, we'll cash them, and you can get freebies and all kinds of fun things.
Jeremy Stanwyck, thank you for joining us here in Charlottesville. I mean, how difficult has it been to roll out a new POS?
Well,
POS, point of sale, guys. That's the acronym.
It's a little scary because, first of all, we'll keep the old system running until this thing's ready, of course. But just there's so many variables. And if, I know a little bit of digital just to be dangerous. I mean, I do my own Photoshop and Illustrator. I do my own advertising. That is a completely different animal than this. So for me, it's a little daunting. And they don't send someone to come and show you how to do it. I don't read technical manuals very well. So, but looks, 24/7 support better be 24/7 support. That's all I can say.
I like it because it's going to give you another layer of accountability that perhaps you did not have initially, and it's going to give you another layer of access where you're going to be able to check in when you're on a trip, and you're going to be able to track sales digitally from your phone. That's literally what we've been doing here with our business.
It'll help us buy products better and more efficiently. I mean, I understand all the benefits of it, but it's just that little... oh my God, I'm a dinosaur. I'm not really a dinosaur, but it makes you feel that way sometimes when you're not quite sure.
How is it going to be integrated with the self-serve dog wash and the grooming? Or is it just going to be strictly product-based?
It's strictly product-based, but we can put a frequent washer program in, or if we wanted to do something like, hey, if you get 10 dog washes, it will log in something for maybe one of our favorite rescue groups, as a give back program. There's a lot of things that these programs will do for us, which is kind of cool.
I love it. I think one thing that I would like, just spitballing with you and having entrepreneur to entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I would love to see, if possible, and just spitballing with you, a scheduling function where someone can start scheduling digitally, as opposed to calling, grooming and self-serve dog wash.
Well, there's some yeses and nos with that.
Okay.
For the self-serve, absolutely. But there's a very big difference in, like when you get your hair done, are you just getting a haircut or are you getting color? You're not old enough for color yet.
No.
But if you are, I mean, those things take more time. For us in the grooming, it's not just, I have a Shih Tzu. I'm going to get a Shih Tzu cut. We have to know the age of the dog because puppies take longer and senior dogs take longer. They also require an assistant because they're wiggly or maybe they can't stand. So we've got to have maybe 1.5 people to do this process or allow more time or get a different product. There are a lot of variables. The size of the dog, there's the length of the coat. Is the coat matted or not? And our opinion of what's matted and maybe the layman's term of what's matted is very, very different. So there are a lot of questions that we have to ask to give them the best service.
Sure, and the reason that I brought that up is because we have a large therapy group as clients.
Oh,
and this therapy group has 7 therapists in the group. And
Whoa.
These therapists are now using an online scheduling function that we've custom built.
Right.
And it allows them to track age, medication taken,
Right.
whether it's seen previous therapists, reasons for coming to the therapist. So like a quantification of like 15 to 18 different fields. So when that first-time customer or first-time client or patient comes for that first session, they have the list printed in front of them.
Right.
And then they're then able to provide better therapy care.
Right.
So where I was just spitballing with you is like if you're able to do it like all those fields that are being asked on the phone, like have them digitally, and then what could happen is it's going to save potentially the manpower of the time on the phone.
That's true.
And allow somebody the chance to do it from their phone, creating
Right.
potentially more accountability.
That would be great. I mean, certainly doing all the questions and answers, and then if we can figure out how to take all those answers and then allot an appropriate amount of time for the service, that would be very cool.
Do you consider coming in or growing the business model and the revenue stream by adding another groomer?
Well, surprisingly, you should say that.
Okay.
Yeah, we are interviewing, and we're in the process of getting a second groomer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking? Is that
Pardon?
a little tidbit right there?
That's a tidbit. That's a sizzle, Harris.
That's a teaser right there.
That's a teaser,
and that's because the stream is so popular.
There is enough, and we just happen. People walk in at the right time, and someone just moved here from Washington State looking for a great place to hang her hat.
I love it.
Worked at a store that I have visited in the Seattle area, surprisingly, and different people show up for different reasons, so you never know.
What would you change about the self-serve dog wash now that you're about a year in?
What would I change? Wow, I'm not sure I'd change anything.
Okay.
I mean, I really like the setup. I think the people that are using it like the setup. Thirstier towels. If I could find the thirstiest towel in the whole world.
What, soak up more water?
Yeah, that would be a cool thing. But, so far, so good. We were lucky that we have a great shampoo sponsor that helps us out quite a bit with product and knowledge. And, when did I ever think I would have a shampoo sponsor?
It's amazing.
Yeah, we have a shampoo sponsor. Go Earth Bath. Yay.
There, Gail Marie Marianne Dieter Jean says, "Hey, it's great to see you, Patty.
Hey.
I took your advice. I just got back from the vet clinic, and I took your advice from the last show. Charlie, my dog, feels a lot better. Jerry, please relay this to Patty."
Yay.
That's good news. I appreciate that, Gail Marie Marianne Dieter Jean. Thank you for checking in there, guys. And if you can like and share the stream, that would mean the world to us. What are your food, all natural pet food that you serve, you put them on a sustainable diet that leads to better quality of life for animals that come visit you. Mm-hmm. What are some of the ones that are popping for you and selling well?
Well, the biggest thing is, everybody's been talking about the raw food, and it's frozen. It's great, and it's my personal choice, because it has least manufacturing. But sometimes people aren't so comfortable about that. We had a great teaching session today from one of our suppliers about gently cooked frozen food, and I love it. The product's great. It's made in a USDA approved facility. It's all human grade. It's 90% meat, 10% vegetables, and it's frozen and it's ready to go. And the beauty of this is if you're feeding canned food either as a meal or as a topper, you've got waste of a can. You are paying for a lot of water in a canned food.
Right.
So this is that same type of idea. You can add water to it, but cost for cost, the gently cooked frozen food is a great deal. It solves that problem with the vets that are maybe old school and saying, "Oh, I'm a little worried about raw food and salmonella." It solves this problem. It's easy. You just take out a little bit from your freezer and you're good to go.
I love it. Erica Janes, thank you for watching. Colleen Wise Owens, thank you for liking the show. Joe, hello. We just had Joe Thomas. He's watching right now. Hello, Joe. Hope you're doing well. Sizzle Reel That on the raw food. When you're coming in and a customer's coming into your store and they're coming in for product, what I've noticed is it's so much about like the relationships with you guys. Like you know their animal's name, you know their name, you know often tidbits of what's going on in their life. You can share, if you're not super busy, time from a conversation standpoint about how are you doing, what's this, what's that.
Oh, yeah.
I think that is what separates you guys from some of the big boxes that does not offer that kind of customer service.
Well, I mean, you have to. I mean, not just because we're mom and pop or you know small stores
Local,
with big
small
box.
business.
It's a local thing, and
Yeah.
we take it pretty seriously. I work really hard to remember people's first names. I might not always get the last name. I'm probably going to remember their dog's name before the last name, but I really, really try. And you know, because I see these people all over the place. I might see them in the grocery store, out on the town, floating down the river. I mean, you never know where you're going to see people that
Woodridge Brewery.
Possibly. We did have some fun the other day, didn't we?
I ran into them with my family, and she was there with Conrad at Woodridge Brewery. We were having a great time.
Yep.
That place is good. You had just gotten off the river?
Yep. No, that when you saw us, we had just finished skeet shooting practice.
Skeet shooting. Gotcha.
And the day before that, we were on the river.
You said that's one of your favorites?
Yep.
One of your favorites.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
Beautiful location. I can't wait till those sunflowers are out.
Yeah, I love it because it's, and this is something we should highlight on the show, dog-friendly businesses in the area. That one undoubtedly dog-friendly.
Have you met the owner of that place?
I met him that day.
He's
you
the
pointed him
happiest
out.
man I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, he's riding around on a gator, barefoot in early spring with his dog, looking at his brewery, planting kale and sunflower seeds and brewing the best beer. I mean, he is a happy guy.
Caitlin Michelle Lewis, thank you for joining us. We're talking about Woodridge Brewery.
Yeah.
The owner of the brewery literally meanders throughout his property, and we're talking hundreds and hundreds of acres here on a mountain between Charlottesville and Nelson County. I think right across the Albemarle County line in Nelson County.
In Nelson County.
Barefoot everywhere.
Yeah, he's a happy man.
Yeah, he totally loves it. What are some other pet-friendly places that you love?
Well, let's see. Well, there's always the patio at 3 Notch'd.
Yeah.
You're always
we talked about that one.
Yeah, always see dogs there. Bee Zoo.
That's a good one.
You know, any place on the downtown mall, you know, they're very dog friendly. I can remember taking Ernie, my old Chesapeake, with me to Bee Zoo. This is a long time ago. And, you know, I was having lunch and he's sitting there being really nice. They brought my dog a bowl of carrot soup and a salad, you know, and he loved it. I mean, he loved lettuce, so they brought him this big old bowl of lettuce.
Gail, thank you kindly for sharing the show. We truly appreciate that. I want to highlight Fry Spring Station, and I want to also highlight, now you know, Durty Nelly's we've talked about. That's dog friendly.
Oh, absolutely.
But Fry Springs, you can sit outside with your dog on their patio, and they got one on the other side of the bar and one in the front, and literally just chill and watch Fry Springs and Jefferson Park Avenue go by.
Yeah, that's so nice. I love to people watch. My dream is that somebody in this town, and we've discussed this with other people, but I did see something I think maybe in Seattle Times, where there was a dog park and a bar all together.
You posted that on Facebook.
Yeah, I am dying for somebody to do that here. If I had an extra $100,000, I'd do it.
What was
if
the dog?
anybody has it, that you can give it to me and I'll design it for you.
What was the concept?
Well, it's that you can hang out with people that like dogs and let your dogs play and have a beer. You know, the other thing is, and we've been noodling this at Animal Connection, and the reason I'm saying this is because there have been some single women of a certain age that are customers saying, gosh, where do I go meet people? And I've got dogs. Well, why don't we have a yappy hour, you know, for singles, you know, with people that like dogs? I mean, that would be such a cool thing.
Why would you should do that at the store.
We just might have to.
That's a great idea.
You know,
I think one of the things that I found with the dog community is the dogs, and there's so many studies out there about like when you have a dog, of what it can do from a quality of life standpoint. People that have dogs generally live longer. People that have dogs generally are happier. People have dogs generally are in better shape and better, you know, fitter because they're having to walk the dogs. I've also noticed that people who have dogs generally are more receptive and pleasant to speaking and hanging out with strangers they don't know that also have dogs.
That's true.
Because you have a commonality.
That's right.
You have something that you can connect with.
I mean, I've noticed some of the women that I know. I mean, you know, people are really keen to make a play date for their dog, but you know, now she's, you know, maybe it's a first date or something like that, and she's starting to go out with guys that have dogs. Like, great, let's go have a walk with the dog and have a cup of coffee. See if it's something that they want to even pursue anymore.
Gail says the happy hours is a great idea.
Yeah, it would be kind of fun. We'll have to noodle that and see.
And maybe it's like the second Friday of every month.
During the week, people have got plans Friday, Saturday,
Sunday.
So
during the week is better.
During the week, yeah.
So you're thinking it could be potentially like a rotating concept where it's like you're the ringleader. We include it in the social, we include it in the newsletters, and then just hop around. It's going to be here this day. It's going to be here the next day. It's going to be here the next day. That's a good idea.
Or at least maybe once in a month, it's like a mixer for people and dogs. Who knows?
Yeah, and what we could do, and then you could have prizes. Kind of what we did with the Westminster Dog Show.
Yeah, that's right. It could be. Speaking of that, that's another great place to go with your dog is Cardinal.
Cardinal Hall's amazing.
That patio outside is just the deal. It's so nice, and there's things to play. I mean,
well, you like the Josh and John gang, the beer run, and Cardinal Hall.
What's not to like about Josh and John? Come on, they're good guys.
Because you spent some time there at beer run.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have.
I like it too.
Tuesday nights, that's where I'll be.
35 minutes in, Pattie Boden, a very solid show.
My goodness.
I want to see you spotlight a couple more things before we go.
Well, let's look at your other side of the table because it's spring, so there's fleas and ticks.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So everyone says, "What should I put on my dog?" Well, I'm more about what can you do so that fleas and ticks don't want to be on your dog in the first place,
or in your house,
and one of the biggest things I tell people is, what's your dog eating? Isn't that funny how it always comes back to food? If your dog is eating a high-carb diet, even the grain-free high-carb diet, you're creating yeast in the body. Fleas love it. It's like a magnet. They're ready to just join the party. So, all that yellow stuff that's in their ears and in their toes, that's a flea magnet right there. So, you want to maybe consider higher protein foods. You want to look at something that's more essential oils rather than chemicals. And we have lots.
Right here?
Yeah, we have lots of options. These are all essential oils. If you have kids, you need to seriously think about this. I mean, if they tell you on the package, wait 3 days before you touch your dog.
That's not good.
No, why would you want your kids to touch this? Why would you want your dog to sleep with you if you've got to do this? And this stuff is systemic. It's in their bloodstream where you could it's more work to do a spray, or this is diatomaceous earth. It's a fossil. It will kill fleas and ticks on contact. I have no love lost for a flea or a tick. But you could do this, and it's totally safe, for people. I mean, you might not want to breathe this in, but you don't want to use a lot of it. You can use like about a dime's worth, and you've done it. But like I say, it takes more to manage, to put on your dog maybe 3 or 4 times a week, but you don't have all these chemicals.
I love it. Sizzle reel that. Let's call that, and that's content that I think is quality.
Yeah.
One thing I want to highlight, and we were going to have Heather Travis of Lead the Way Canine.
Correct.
She's a dog trainer. She had laryngitis or reaction to allergy season.
Yes.
That's upon us. So we're going to work her back into the mix. Next week on What's Barking Local is Kim Hawk.
Yeah, and we had her here before.
Yeah,
right. And then we had the great Facebook meltdown.
That's right.
So we didn't get to do much with her, but Kim's going to come back, and we're really going to find out more about Kim.
From Dogs Deserve Better Blue Ridge.
Exactly.
And she's doing some really good things with rescuing and rehoming high-risk animals. So I think, mark it on your calendar. Kim Hawk from Dogs Deserve Better Blue Ridge. What do you like that she's doing?
What do I like that she's doing?
Yeah.
I like that she's getting dogs off chains and making sure they have shelter, and going to the government, going to to Richmond to make things better for dogs. Yeah, she's on it, and she is one dedicated person. She's
going to join us next Wednesday on the show.
Yeah.
We also have, this is going to be kind of exciting, Jen Carter, who's a holistic pet care specialist.
She knows a lot of stuff, and she has studied with my original mentor, Wendy Volhard.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a really great show. She knows a ton about not just nutrition, but Chinese 5-element theory and homeopathics and herbs and dog obedience, and she knows a lot of stuff. So that'll be a good show.
We spotlight the best of the animal community on What's Barking Local. And I think one of the things that Animal Connection and Pattie's team do really well is they do a really good job of spotlighting the animal community in Charlottesville and Central Virginia, celebrating it and championing the animal community in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. And I think that's what has been paramount in 17 years of, nearly 17?
Nearly 17?
Nearly 17 years of success for her.
It'll be 17 in August.
Yeah, I mean, she's built an epicenter for excellence, an epicenter for animal positivity. And I want to, celebrate you for that.
Oh, please.
I think it's really solid. Anything else?
Yeah, one of our biggest things, and hello, we've got Virginia hats up here for a reason.
Yeah, baby?
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
That's right. So we're running a thing at our store. It's a contest. Now, I know it's a lot of trouble for you to remember to put on your Virginia shirt or your hat. Make sure you come to the store and do a selfie. I get that. But, if you do, you can win a $500 gift certificate. It's that easy. I mean, all you got to do is do a little planning. But if Virginia wins, when Virginia wins, right?
Yeah.
Saturday night.
I think Virginia's going to win.
Right.
Saturday at 6:35.
It's $350. If they're going on and they won the Final Four, that gift certificate is going to be $500. I mean, who would not want to win that? I would take the time to come to the store, do a selfie with the selfie station, wear your gear, and
we're seeing one on screen right now.
Yeah.
So Jay Anderson Jr. says, Pattie, what is your business location? Where is your business located? Watching your show here for the first time. They used to have yappy hours at the Clifton Inn a few years ago, and I really like this idea.
They were fun. Yeah, my store is on McIntyre Road, right next to Seaville Coffee, Circa Antiques.
Yeah.
It's possible we could have it there, but we might talk to some of our friends that have a brewery. Or a venue where we can go and have drinks. I mean, I can't really serve a whole lot at my store, but it'd be nice to have a glass of wine or a beer or something like that.
You should make it a progressive, where you start at your store and then you walk and migrate somewhere else that's close.
We could do a dog walk.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yep. I don't know. We'll noodle it. We'll get some ideas.
Jay Anderson
Thanks, John.
Jr., McIntyre. Is it the McIntyre Office Park?
It is. We're right next to Seaville Coffee.
Check them out. I think you'll be really impressed with what you see over there. And Jay Anderson Jr., thank you for coming on there, stumbling upon the show. We're grateful for that.
Yeah. The other thing we've got is Easter. Easter is going to be really fun. We're going to have an Easter egg hunt in the store, and we're going to have eggs hidden all over the place.
That's a good idea.
They'll have anything from a discount to free treats to, if you find that golden egg, there might be $100 or something really good gift certificate in there. And it's in the store.
I love it. I love it. Check her out, McIntyre Office Park, Animal Connection. When you see her there, you're going to get the royal treatment, and her staff will also offer it as well. This show is What's Barking Local. It airs on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock, and we spotlight the best of the animal community in Central Virginia. Pattie, thank you kindly.
Jerry, thank you kindly.
We will see you next week with
right.
Kim Payne of Dogs Deserve Better Blue Ridge.
Yeah,
baby.
Kimberly will be great. So
she's going to be great. Kim Hawk. Can't wait to have her on the show.
Right.
Harris Tolber. That's a wrap, my friend. He's
All right.
the director of the program. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.